I spent 7 years chasing a dream, and just when I reached it, I had to let it go. Not because I wanted to, not because I stopped loving it, but because life handed me something I wasn't ready for and I had to make a choice. This is the story of how I became a funeral director, and then a mother, and how I'm learning slowly to hold space for both. I had only been married for 2 months when I found out I was pregnant. It wasn't just unexpected, it knocked the air out of me. I was still in mortuary school mid-internship with several embalmings to go before I could get my license. My career wasn't a job, it was my passion, my purpose, the identity I had built my future around. Somehow, I still managed to get licensed as a funeral director and embalmer 6 months later. But just as I crossed the finish line, I had to set it all down. I couldn't fully step into the role I had worked years for because I was pregnant and the demands of the job didn't align with what my body and my new baby needed. I kept working part-time until my son was born, and then everything shifted. I had every intention of going back to work, but life had other plans. The support we expected from friends and family never came, and when I told my boss I could only return part-time, he made it clear. Full-time or not at all. I was devastated. I'd spent years fighting for this career, and now I was handing it back with shaking hands. But I told myself it was okay. I could be a stay-at-home mom. I could lean into this new chapter, and maybe I could have if that were the only loss I was facing. But in the span of 2 months, I lost my dream job, endured a traumatic birth, and grieved the deaths of 2 good friends. Looking back, it's no wonder I fell into a deep depression. I blamed the hormones. I resented my baby and husband for how little I slept. I didn't have the space to process any of it. Those first 9 months, a blur. I look back at the pictures of my son and feel like I missed it all. Like I was there in body but not in spirit, as if it were all a dream. But that's a story for another time. A few months later, we moved an hour away to be closer to my husband's family, hoping for support and a financial reset. Then, out of nowhere, his father passed away. And just like that, I was back in funeral service, not as an employee, but as a daughter-in-law, guiding my family through grief. It lit something inside me again, a reminder of why I fell in love with this work in the first place. Soon after, my husband confessed he was miserable in his job. He wanted to change paths entirely. That gave me an opening. I could return to work while he figured out his next move. I believed the universe was handing me a second chance, but really it was a gentle nudge disguised as an open door leading me right back into the path I needed to outgrow. I applied everywhere, all of the funeral homes and mortuaries in the area. Nothing landed. Eventually I pivoted to a different role, pre-need sales, helping families plan their funerals ahead of time to ease the future burden. The mission resonated, and I was good at it. But something felt wrong. I brushed it off. Maybe it was just inexperience. I pushed through. 5 months in, I was drained and disheartened. I went to a conference and found some inspiration, but it faded quickly. I kept telling myself, just make it to the vacation. You need a break. The vacation wasn't a break. It was exhausting. So I waited for the next vacation. And on that second trip, the truth finally landed. Somewhere between naps and nature, I remembered what joy felt like. I wanted to bike again. I wanted to learn Spanish. I wanted to create, not just work, but live. But when we got home, I crashed hard. The clarity of vacation gave way to a new wave of depression. Why? Because I finally admitted what I had been avoiding for years. I hated my job. Not because it wasn't meaningful, it was, but because it drained me of the parts of myself that I loved the most. And here's the kicker. I didn't hate all of funeral work. I just hated being a funeral director. What I loved was embalming. The sacredness, the artistry, the care. But embalming and motherhood don't exactly go hand in hand. It's not a job that works while pregnant, nursing, or raising young kids. That was a hard pill to swallow. So I did what I had always done. I tried to convince myself that I could love the jobs that were compatible with my life now, but that was never going to be true. Losing embalming, even temporarily, leaves me with a broken heart, like someone I love has left and my whole body is aching for their presence. It's hard to even do it occasionally because it feels like seeing an ex you still love, knowing it just isn't the right time. So I asked myself, what would I tell the younger me years ago who was already feeling misaligned in her internship? The answer came clearly, let it go. Not forever, but for now. Because chasing a ghost is no way to live. This time I'm stepping into motherhood with clear eyes and an open heart. This time I've processed the grief of letting go, I've made peace with the fact that my dream job doesn't fit my current life, and I'm learning not to sacrifice my creativity and joy for the illusion of productivity. I'm allowing myself to study herbalism, to lean into slow food, to train for a 70-mile bike ride and try 75 hard, to create content, to play with my son, to stop doom scrolling and actually feel my feelings and start living. Thank you. If you've ever felt torn between who you were and who you're becoming, you're not alone. If you've ever grieved a version of yourself, even a good one, I see you. If you want to walk this path of intentional living, motherhood, healing, growth, and rediscovery, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Subscribe below and let's grow in this together.